Last night we talked about the Gulf of Tonkin incident, and today I want to bring it forward into the modern era. However, before we do that, troops, absolutely loving the passion and commitment that you show into the channel and my message. It's great to see people from both sides of the aisle getting the points across, sharing opinions, being mostly respectful, and actually this is how we need to be. It can't just be echo chambers, you're in the left, you're in the right. It's got to be people having opinions, sharing them and coming up with a consensus. You're doing it, it's amazing. Keep subscribing, keep sharing. We're told that history repeats itself. Now, that's not necessarily true, however, it does rhyme. And once you see the pattern in it, it's impossible to unsee. You see, the Gulf of Tonkin incident wasn't an anomaly. You know, the Iraq conflict, it wasn't a mistake. What we live through on a daily basis doesn't happen by accident. Again and again, power, authorities, use a crisis as a governing tool. A threat's identified. Now, sometimes it is real, but sometimes it's exaggerated, and sometimes it's entirely false. But nonetheless, fear is amplified. A sense of urgency is manufactured, and then the government or the authorities will claim that they need these extraordinary powers that never would have been granted or accepted in calmer conditions. In 1964, it was a fabricated naval attack. In 2003, it was weapons of mass destruction that they knew didn't exist. In both cases, intelligence was shaped, the media complied, and dissent was framed as disloyalty. The pattern is always the same. Policy goals are decided first, the evidence is assembled second, and then consent is engineered third. The public's never told by the government ministers, this is the outcome we want. They're told, you've got to accept this outcome or else. You know, nuclear war, famine, you know, pandemics, whatever it may be. There's a lot of excuses that they can use. You'll also note that once the crisis passes, the powers that have been granted in these extraordinary circumstances, they're never given back, they're never ceded back to the people. They don't return to how they were pre-crisis. Emergency becomes precedent. Precedent becomes policy, and policy becomes permanent. This is crisis as governance, and it's the defining political method of our modern age. The question isn't whether it's happening. You just have to Google any incident and there's people that can just rip it apart instantly. The question is whether people are finally awake enough to recognise it whilst it's happening.